Alright, today we're going to go over Extus, Oriq Overlord. So, for this guy, I didn't really look at the back too much. Like, yes, it's going to be relevant in the game, but only if the front side isn't moving and doing its engine. Then we'd start popping off the back and really start gaining the control back onto our side. But really, it's going to focus around one, having ways to get stuff into the graveyard, and also small creatures that don't really mind being in the graveyard, so that way when we're casting our instants and sorceries that are then going to dump stuff in the graveyard, we can get back those small creatures that we dumped in earlier. Anyway, let's get to the deck. Alright, so for this deck, I was picking token cards, creatures that aren't legendary so I can put them back with my commander, some like discard effects, because like I don't care about the stuff I'm discarding necessarily because I know I can get them back, some like utility creatures to abuse that, and then some kind of like guys that trigger off you casting instants and sorceries, because that's what commander does. So let's go to the visuals. So for artifacts, we just got our basic mana fixing artifacts, skull clamps in there because we make a lot of 1 toughness tokens that then draw you a whole bunch of cards. Sorceries, we have a lot of just Mardu kind of tokeny control type stuff with a heavy focus on your whole discard element. Discard's not bad in this deck because you're going to end up using your commander's ability off of it. Also, anything that can be used from the graveyard can then just be discarded with these cards, and then that's that like downside. Planeswalkers, got some that just make tokens. Tokens also is a sub-theme of this deck because the ability on the back of the commander costs less the more you sacrifice, so it's all going to be fodder to cast that over and over again. Instance, we just have another package of just cards to answer any situation. We have a lot of card draw in this deck, so we want to be able to draw our answers as well as get out enough like blockers in the air or on the ground. Enchantments. There's been a lot of good enchantments over the years that have been like good token producers, like these 3, and then, or actually this one, and then double those tokens. This is another good one to make tokens, or to have an effect when stuff happens with your tokens. This is going to give you a ton of mana. And then on to the creatures. Here we're going to have Bone Misers in here because of that discard. We have some like good edge of the battlefield abilities that we'll be getting back. None of the creatures in this deck besides the commander are legendary, so all of these guys you'll be able to get back with the ability here. So if any of them become a nuisance and get taken care of, you can easily get them back, or they have abilities that get them back on their own. We have guys in here like these 2 that trigger off of things discarding, but also we have guys in here that trigger off you casting instants and sorceries. So I really wanted to balance out those 2 elements of the deck while still producing enough tokens to cast the backside of the commander. I feel like this is a pretty good combo of all those elements. Young Pyromancer is really kind of summary of what this deck is all about. Let's take it into gameplay. Test 1. Alrighty. Those 2 ones. We had a mountain. Yeah, if we had a mountain, this would be real good. Restore. start it. Ooh. Jeez. Alright, we'll roll with this. It's not great at all. If I had one mountain, be good. Like that. Throw this guy out. Get a 1/1 goblin. Next turn, this dies. Get another goblin. Play that. Tap, tap, tap. Next turn, booyah. Tap, 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 tap. Commander, battleground. Cascade. There we go. It goes out. He's gonna go on. So then, yeah, your next few turns, you're just gonna be like throwing down threat after threat after threat, and if anything gets dealt with, then you just wait until you get your commander and insert sorcery out, and then play that, get a guy back, rinse and repeat. If they really start dealing with your commander, but you have a lot of like little token guys out like this, then you start playing the backside where of this, and start getting the big demon out to start making your opponent sacrifice stuff.